Good morning. I'm Rick Gentry, President and CEO of the San Diego Housing Commission, and welcome. This is a very important day for San Diego. I stand here with Mayor Kevin Faulconer, Council Member Todd Gloria, and our partners, Chairman of the Board of Supervisors Ron Roberts, San Diego Chamber President and CEO Jerry Sanders, our landlord community and homeless providers, to officially announce a new initiative to provide 1,000 homeless veterans with a path off the streets within the next year. We choose this backdrop to recognize the landlord who has been a great example of the support we need to provide rental apartments to homeless veterans. You will hear from him shortly. Close to $12.5 million in federal, city, and San Diego Housing Commission resources will be invested in the 1,000 Homes Veterans Collaborative Initiative, a new initiative of the San Diego Housing Commission's Housing First San Diego Homelessness Action Plan. The Housing First model is to provide housing as quickly as possible with supportive services as needed. You first learned about this effort to address veterans' homelessness during the Mayor's State of the City address last month when he announced the Housing Our Heroes campaign to recruit landlords. And with that, I give you to add more, Mayor Kevin Faulconer.
Thank you, Rick. Thank you. Well, thank you, Rick, and good morning. And thank you for everyone to be here today. This is a very, very proud day for our city. That's because we are working together, collaboratively, to address the very serious problem of veterans' homelessness. As Rick just said, at the State of the City last month, I made a pledge that when we work together, we could get 1,000 veterans off the streets this year. Today, we're putting our Housing Our Heroes campaign into action. We have an opportunity and an obligation to make sure the men and women who served our country get the help that they deserve. So today, we announce how we reach that goal. The challenges are complicated, and many of our homeless veterans suffer from mental health or substance abuse issues. That's why this campaign is not just about putting a roof over their heads. That approach hasn't worked, so we're doing things differently. It's about providing the supportive services that they need to help turn their lives around. There are four main components of the Housing Our Heroes campaign, and we're going to work with landlords to open more doors. We're going to cover security deposits so veterans can move into these homes. We're going to provide hundreds of housing vouchers for disabled veterans to pay rent for their homes. And we're going to provide wraparound supportive services so veterans can stay in their homes and not end up back on the street. Altogether, we are committing $12.5 million to the Housing Our Heroes campaign. It's a new initiative of the Housing First San Diego, which, as I think all of you know, is a landmark homeless action plan of the San Diego Housing Commission. This three-year plan, which we launched in 2014 with the strong support of myself and Councilmember Todd Gloria, Todd's leadership has been instrumental in all of the work that we are achieving. The San Diego Housing Commission is expected to vote on the proposed funding for Housing Our Heroes next week, with the City Council vote shortly thereafter. I think you can see by all of us who are here today, all of our partners, there's really no one agency or one group that can solve the problem of homelessness. That's why we're uniting San Diego behind this cause. And that's why you see representatives of so many organizations standing here ready to help our veterans in this new and focused effort. I want to specifically thank Rick Gentry, who's President and CEO of the San Diego Housing Commission. I want to thank my colleague, as I said, a gentleman whose leadership has been instrumental, Councilmember Todd Gloria. I want to thank Jerry Sanders, our President and CEO of the San Diego Regional Chamber of Commerce, who understands very clearly that this is an opportunity for our business community to help pitch in and get involved with. I want to thank Chairman Ron Roberts of the County Board of Supervisors, whose leadership, particularly on the issues of mental health and funding, has been incredibly supportive. I want to thank Whitney Benzian, Executive Director of the California Apartment Association, for all of the work that our Apartment Association members are doing to help out. I want to thank Jessica Chamberlain with the local VA. I want to thank Jeff Hickox, President of the San Diego County Apartment Association. Again, as you can see, our apartment owners and landlords are stepping up to the plate to help out. And of course, I want to thank Phil Andrus, President and CEO of the Veterans Village of San Diego. Phil is no stranger to any of us. He's been doing it every single day and night, helping our veterans. We're very, very proud of. And of course, I want to thank and say hello to my friend Stu Headley, a proud veteran of the United States and a Pearl Harbor survivor. Anytime, Stu, that we are in your presence, my friend, it is a great day for this city. And I also want to thank Chris Blatt, a veteran who owns the complex right behind us. Chris is a veteran who rents to other veterans. Chris, thank you for your service and for the work that you're doing to help fellow veterans here in San Diego. We're standing here because we feel strongly that helping veterans should be a priority for this city and for our region. We can make a difference, and we are going to make a difference this year. We're going to get 1,000 homeless veterans off the streets. We're going to do it because it's the right thing to do. We're going to do it because we're united here in San Diego. We're going to do it because we are here to help out. We're here to say thank you to the men and women that have served our country. I want to thank all of you for your support and for your collaboration. This is an effort that I'm very, very proud of as mayor, working together with all of my colleagues at the city and the county. Can't wait to get started. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks, Rick.
Thank you, Mayor Faulconer. It gives me great pleasure now to ask Council Member Todd Gloria to provide you with additional details about our Veterans Initiative. Council Member Gloria is also the chairman of the Regional Continuum of Care Council, which oversees the federal funding that comes into the San Diego region. He is a longtime champion of finding solutions to homelessness. And when we launched the San Diego Housing Commission's Housing First San Diego Homelessness Action Plan in 2014, Council Member Todd Gloria, then the Council President, along with the Mayor, fully supported the plan. And here we are today announcing the Veterans Initiative. Councilman Gloria.
Thank you, Rick, and good morning, everyone. I have the heavy lifting to do, so you'll want to record all this because I'm going to tell you the details of what exactly we're proposing today. I think often you hear our objective to get 1,000 homeless veterans off our streets in the next year. I'm going to tell you a little bit more about how we're going to do that. According to the San Diego County Apartment Association, the City of San Diego's vacancy rate is at a very low 2.8%. Additionally, there are an estimated 1,000 to 1,600 homeless military veterans in the city alone, and these heroes are struggling to obtain affordable rental housing. The mayor just announced the 4 components of this initiative, and I'd like to cover some of the details for these programs and how we intend to end veterans' homelessness in America's finest city. The first component is Landlord Outreach Housing Our Heroes campaign. Under the Housing Our Heroes campaign, we will assist veterans looking for housing by reaching out to landlords who have rental units in the city of San Diego. We have set aside $4.4 million for this effort. The Housing Our Heroes program will provide incentives for landlords who want to rent to homeless veterans. Landlords will receive $500 for the first apartment they rent to a homeless veteran and $250 for each additional unit. An average of nearly $1,500 in security deposits and $100 in utility assistance will also be provided per household. $1 million will be set aside to help landlords cover unexpected expenses. These could be things such as repairs that exceed security deposits upon move-out or to cover rent due to unforeseen vacancies. The Housing Commission will provide dedicated housing specialists to answer landlords' questions as well as application assistance for homeless veterans. And finally, the San Diego Housing Commission will coordinate recruitment fairs and training sessions for landlords, service providers, and for tenants. To the landlords that are hearing this message today, please call our Housing Our Heroes hotline. It is staffed by the San Diego Housing Commission, and the number is 619-5 578-7768, or you may email us at housingourheroes@sdhc.org. The Housing Our Heroes program will be funded from a grant from the City of San Diego resulting from the ground lease of the San Diego Square, proceeds from the pending sale of the Hotel Metro, and administrative fees from the Federal Housing Voucher Program. That's number one. Number two is the 1,000 Veterans Initiative. The second part of the 1,000 Veteran Initiative is the Voucher Program. For many of our homeless veterans, combining supportive services with housing is essential to getting them off the streets. And that's why federal housing vouchers are so important to this 1,000 Veteran campaign. These vouchers act as the rental assistance that is paid directly to the landlord. This is not charity. This is about business. Through this program, 300 chronically homeless veterans with an honorable discharge and a disabling condition will get the help that they need from the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development's Veterans Affairs Supportive Housing Voucher, also known as VASH. These 300 homeless veterans currently have a VASH voucher and are looking for an apartment today. I'll repeat that again. These are 300 homeless veterans who currently have a VASH voucher and are looking for an apartment right now. The VASH vouchers have an annual value of more than $2.6 million and are allocated to the San Diego Housing Commission to administer. These are for to help these homeless veterans in their apartment search. The San Diego Housing Commission obtained a waiver from the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development and allows for a 20% higher rent payment with a VASH voucher. That means a VASH voucher that was previously worth about $1,000 a month is now worth almost $1,300 a month. In addition to this important rental assistance, the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs San Diego healthcare system will also provide clinical health and case management services to the VASH voucher recipients to keep them permanently off the streets. So the VASH voucher for the housing, the VA healthcare system for the services. Number three. In addition to these 300 VASH vouchers, 100 more homeless veterans will be assisted through another type of housing voucher. The San Diego Housing Commission will award housing vouchers called sponsor-based vouchers to nonprofit and for-profit organizations, also known as sponsors, and these will provide supportive services to homeless San Diegans. With these vouchers, our homeless veterans who do not qualify for VASH, and there are some that do not, will be able to find a place to live and receive services such as mental health counseling, substance abuse programs, independent living skill classes. This is a total investment of more than $3 million, and with the sponsor-based housing vouchers valued at more than $1 million a year, and the supportive services funded through proceeds from the pending sale of the Hotel Metro estimated at more than $2 million a year. The last one, just hang in there with me. There's a lot of people whose lives we're trying to help out. The final component is the 1,000 Veterans campaign provides another path off the streets for another 600 veterans and their families who are impacted by unexpected life experiences. This can be things like a job loss, domestic violence, or a medical crisis. A hand up may be all that they need, and that can often be the form of short-term monthly rental assistance for just a few months. To this end, our campaign will provide $2 million for what is known as rapid rehousing assistance to help more homeless veterans get back on their feet. Most importantly, all homeless veterans are eligible for rapid rehousing assistance, regardless of whether or not they received an honorable discharge. The Housing Commission will award these rapid rehousing funding to nonprofits and for-profit providers, and they will make direct payments to landlords on behalf of the veterans they seek to help. In addition to upfront move-in costs, we will also cover first and last month rent, security deposits, utility deposits, as well as furniture and other one-time move-in costs. A service provider may also provide homeless veterans with case management and supportive services such as mental health care. And next month, a competitive request for proposal process will be issued to allow service providers to apply for these flexible rapid rehousing funds to bring the total number of veterans we can house this initiative to 1,000 veterans. All right, that was a lot, but that's exactly the size of this commitment, and I think all of us can appreciate the fact that no veteran should live on our streets, so we ought to do everything we can to serve them. The only way our region is going to end veteran homelessness is through collaboration of all stakeholders. And so I want to thank my partner, Mayor Kevin Faulconer, and of course our chairman of the County Board of Supervisors, Ron Roberts. Their collective efforts on engagement on this issue is incredible. Gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us in this effort. I also want to thank Rick Gentry and his staff at the San Diego Housing Commission for continuing to put a national spotlight on San Diego for its implementation of Housing First San Diego and developing initiatives like the innovative one I just outlined for you now. And as a member of the San Diego City Council, as the representative for downtown and uptown, and as the chair of the Regional Continuum of Care Council, I'm proud of the steps that we're advancing today, and I'm confident that we can, in fact, solve this problem in San Diego. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening. I'm going to turn it back to Rick.
Thank you, Todd, for doing the heavy lifting this morning. As you can hear, this is a well-thought-out, multi-point approach to deal with veterans who do not have single issues in their lives. It's a wide range of programs to deal with a wide range of problems, which all result in the one descriptive term of homelessness. And Todd, thank you very much for that description. It's nice having a city councilman who understands housing programs as well as Todd does. It's now my great pleasure to introduce to you the president of the San Diego Regional Chamber of Commerce, Jerry Sanders. Back in 2010, then Mayor Jerry Sanders identified the San Diego Housing Commission as a partner in addressing homelessness, first time we've been asked to this table. We became the administrator of the city's emergency homelessness programs. And today, in his role as president and CEO of the San Diego Regional Chamber of Commerce, we will again be working together. So, Jerry Sanders.
I obviously didn't get the blue suit memo. I apologize. I'd like to start with a sincere thank you to the mayor and his team for taking on veterans homelessness in this aggressive and collaborative way. The Chamber, representing over 2,500 San Diego businesses, is proud and ready to partner in this effort to house our heroes and to support them in a way they deserve. Veteran support and homelessness have been identified as two leading priorities for the San Diego Regional Chamber of Commerce. The success of this initiative is critical to tackling homelessness. Through the Chamber's robust Defense, Veterans, and Military Affairs Committee, we're able to direct our attention and our resources to the most relevant issues facing our veteran community. San Diego is a proud military town with thousands of veterans choosing to remain here as they transition out of service. Today, we're ready to engage in outreach and supportive campaigns to identify and recruit additional housing opportunities for veterans. It's clear the mayor's initiative is important to our local economic development and the future of our city. But it's also important because of what it says about us as San Diegans, as a larger community of individuals and businesses that deeply appreciate and respect our military. Thank you.
It's now my great pleasure to introduce to you Ron Roberts, who is the chairman of the County Board of Supervisors. And newly appointed chairman of the Board of Supervisors, Roberts has certainly hit the road running with a lot of new initiatives themselves from the county dealing with homelessness. Mr. Roberts has demonstrated great leadership in addressing solutions to the region's homelessness through partnerships, as you will now hear. So I'm very happy to have you join us, Chairman Rod Roberts.
Well, good morning, and thank you, Rick. I want to thank Rick. I want to thank Mayor Faulconer. I want to thank Councilman Gloria for their leadership in addressing homelessness in San Diego. I seem to be collaborating a lot lately with both the mayor and Councilman Gloria, and it was a collaboration really that started between the county and Mayor Sanders, was interrupted briefly, but then resumed by Mayor Faulconer sending to the office. So we've got a good thing going here, and I'm honored to be here as part of this. The county is committed to helping to ensure that we house our heroes. This week, the Board of Supervisors voted to obligate long-term resources to helping all seriously mentally ill homeless individuals. We're calling that Project One for All. And we're working with the San Diego Housing Commission, along with others. We have a proven model that we're working on and based on the results of those early efforts. This model employs the whatever it takes approach necessary to addressing the barriers that seriously mentally ill homeless individuals face. Project One for All also complements Housing for Heroes and offers opportunity to serve a broader veterans population. Only by working together, and I'll emphasize that, only by working together can we maximize our resources and create real change for the homeless community. I want to thank you for inviting me here today, and my congratulations again to the mayor, to Councilman Gloria, to the Housing Commission, and to housing landlords like Chris Blatt, who you'll hear from, in his commitment to this homeless issue. We are going to make a difference with these efforts, and you're going to see it in a real way. We have a lot of candidates, I can tell you that. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Roberts. And now to introduce someone very special to us this morning, Chris Blatt, who's the landlord of the building behind us here. As we said at the beginning, the apartment complex behind us is home to a number of homeless veterans. And it gives me great pleasure to welcome Chris Blatt, a U.S. Navy veteran who still serves as a Navy reservist and has not forgotten his fellow veterans. Chris Blatt.
Thank you, Rick. Good morning. My name is Chris Blatt, and I am a 26-year Navy veteran. I am proud to be able to work with the Housing Commission and the Veterans Administration since 1998, serving veterans with fast vouchers. It's been a privilege and an honor for me to give back to my fellow veterans, my shipmates, and my brothers in arms who we all serve together in one sort of capacity or another to keep this country safe and secure. It's an honor for me to be able to provide housing which is clean and safe to allow my fellow veterans to get back on their feet, to get reintegrated into society. We help them in so many ways to get to their VA appointments, bring some food so they can get reestablished, to serve them like they served all of us, and show them the respect that they deserve. I encourage all the landlords to, do the patriotic thing and help out these other fellow veterans. There's a lot more to do. I'm just a small part, and we need all of your help. So I'm thank you and honored to be able to be here today and help out. Thank you.
Thank you, Chris. We appreciate that very, very much. And in closing, the funds are here. We've identified them. Certainly we know that the need is here. But the success of this collaborative initiative lies with landlord partnerships, as well as homeless veterans taking advantage of those housing opportunities. All participants in the 1,000 Homeless Veterans Initiative will be referred by San Diego Housing Commission partner agencies or organizations that provide supportive services to homeless San Diegans. So it is also important that homeless veterans add their names to a database that assesses their housing needs and vulnerability, which will help identify those homeless veterans who are most in need. The agencies that will be able to add homeless veterans to this coordinated assessment database are also located in the downtown area, and they include the two following locations: the Neil Good Day Center and the Joan Kroc Center at Father Joe's Villages. Those are the places where intake for the homeless occurs and where screening will occur that will help us assess who will participate in the 1,000 Veterans Program. I'd like to add a final thank you this morning to Mayor Faulconer, Council Member Gloria, Chairman of the Board of Supervisors Ron Roberts, San Diego Chamber President Jerry Sanders, Chris Blatt, and our partners up here with me for joining us today. Thank you all very much for coming, and at this time we will invite you to interview any one of our partners or participants as you wish. Thank you very much.